All right, all right.
Welcome,
everybody. It is Wealth Building Wednesday, and you are here with the Grimes Group, and we have a special guest in the house with us this evening. He is a founder of Currency Cadets and operates it hands-on as the chief blockchain asset analyst. My friend Tony Tate holds a bachelor's degree in electronic engineering, business, and information systems, and a master of science degree in distributed systems, as well as an MBA in technical management. His background as a B2B and a B2C content marketer and consultant in the disruptive fields of the future include, but are not limited to, blockchain and cryptocurrency. Tony
yes.
brought Tony brought his background in disruptive technology to his partnership with the Southeast Orlando office of Premier Sotheby's International Realty. In his ongoing simultaneous work as a blockchain analyst, he has been collaborating on numerous real estate cryptocurrency projects, involved in smart city and smart contracts since 2016. He primarily works with professionals within the real estate, such as ourselves. So we're really glad to have Tony with us and be considered one of those professionals like Tony. Mortgage, title, and insurance, legal, health, and wellness specialty. He also does in medical, nonprofit, and faith-based organizations who need them. And as a private investor, Tony facilitated and structured the buying and selling of real estate with cryptocurrency and blockchain assets. Now, that is very interesting. Additionally, he has developed a certification process that assists title companies in handling real estate transactions in accordance with the local Florida and U.S. regulatory agencies.
Wow.
In his time away from the office, Tony enjoys giving back to the community with faith-based service through his home church, Summit Church in Orlando. He is an Army veteran. We thank him for his service and also proudly works with other military veterans on health and wellness issues. So everybody, please give it up for my man, Tony Tate. And he even got a little PA, BA, MBA. Might have played in the NBA. I don't even know, because I know he's like 6'4", 6'5", you know. So I'm sure that he's working that height.
Yes. But first, you got to let everybody know where they were at.
Where they at?
Wealth Building Wednesday with the grind.
I did. I think I said that in the very beginning.
Okay, all right. Sometimes we forget that. Okay. Sometimes we get that. We just start conversating, and sometimes we forget to let people know to tune in at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays in order to watch Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we have people that are doing their thing, showing us how to build wealth in a world like we live in. You know, COVID has shown us a lot of things, and one of the things that we have seen is maybe you can't depend on a 9 to 5, right? So in Wealth Building Wednesdays, we attract people that will teach you, help you, assist you in finding ways and pathways to wealth.
To generate generational wealth. Not just wealth, but generational wealth. We want this wealth to be passed on from tradition to tradition, from generation to generation.
Yes.
You know, and to create those traditions of people understanding how to utilize the skills and assets that they may not even know that they have.
Correct. Well, welcome, Tony Tate. I feel like a drum roll. Like we should be doing drum roll here.
But if you got some drumsticks, I'll eat one.
Okay.
Now I'm talking about the ice cream kind. Now the Nutty Buddies, y'all remember that? The Nutty Buddies, them kind of drumsticks. I'm not talking about no chicken.
Oh, you forgot to mention he was in comedy.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about. Well, his I've had a chance to talk to Tony before, so I know his comedy is going to shine throughout this whole process that we get on here.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I make jokes for myself. I'm the funniest person I know, so if you hear something that makes you want to chuckle, that's cool. I'll welcome the company. But if you don't find it funny, that's okay, because they weren't for you anyway if you don't laugh.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us, Tony.
Sure thing.
First of all, we had an opportunity to talk to you prior to this. And one of the things that I do admire about you is not just that you're fantastic resume, that you can tell that you are a hardworking individual. You can tell that you are intelligent. You can tell that you are a Christian by talking to you. You are very faith-based, and we definitely have the same values as far as that is concerned. And family.
Well, that was close. I'm glad I'm not on here with no heathen, so that's good. I'm close. Woo! Hey, we good now. We good.
And family values come priority for you. Yeah. So that is one of the big reasons that I kind of, I feel that we knew that this was going to be a good fit within the first 5 minutes of conversating with you. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency today, but just to let everyone know on this call, it's not just about cryptocurrency. What it's about is also the magnitude of inspiration and motivation that reeks from you, and it's just yes,
Thank you. God bless.
Yeah. So I'm delighted to have you on the call. Okay, so let's make cryptocurrency sound sexy.
Sure thing. So, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I think anybody that is within earshot or watching the replay, what you guys do, you all embody that teamwork, and it really did make it a really easy yes for me to just come on and just kind of share what I've been fortunate enough to get by being, in the right or the wrong place, but at the right time. And so I've been able to get a lot of really good experience on a few things. God anointed me for whatever reason. The saying, favor ain't fair. So he just chose me for whatever he chose me for, and he chose somebody else to do whatever. But I am so glad that he chose you to and put it on your hearts to give this to people in ways that are palatable, because like I said, you do this every week. The only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So today's bite is we're going to have a side of crypto and a little bit of Tony. So thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for being here. So, Tony, we want to start off with a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
We want this to be very, very, and Curtis is going to start those questions, but we want it to take it in baby steps, okay? Because,
sure.
Us, for one, are new to the idea of cryptocurrency. However, I've known that in the past few years, it's grown tremendously and made a lot of people very wealthy. So, again, Curtis is going to ask some questions, and we'd love to hear it in baby terms.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Sure thing.
Technical in there too, to make people do a little research of their own, because I think, sometimes people really have to, when it comes to building wealth, you can't just listen to what one person says. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to, do a little research for yourself, because you got to have a little skin in the game.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, because it's not going to just be given to you. It's better to teach somebody how to fish than to give them the fish.
Right.
You know that principle. So basically, I guess the first question would be, what is cryptocurrency?
So cryptocurrency, if you break it up and dissect it from being a compound word, crypto is short for cryptography, meaning programming, specialization, encrypting things, basically keeping things safe. So if you think of that, okay, things that are programmable, right? And the currency is obviously, a way, it's kind of like a dialect of money, right? Mm-hmm. So cryptocurrency is really money that's programmable, right? It has a purpose. It goes forth and does what it's designed to do, whether that is a bunch of different transactions, or whether it's just a means to communicate something. Like, so cryptocurrency is like a train, but the blockchain is like the train tracks that it runs on. And so the real value and what makes cryptocurrency valuable is what it is doing, right? So if the money is doing something, like if it's a project, if it's making something secure and it's backed, we say, okay, well, we like this project that this particular company has worked on, and so we think they're tokens or shares, if you want to think of it like shares. But I want to be very careful there, because cryptocurrency is not like stock market. It is not like stocks. People ask me that all the time because it goes up, it goes down, and it's not like that. So simply put, cryptocurrency is money that is programmable with a purpose.
Money that is
programmable with a purpose.
Yes.
All right. We're all about purpose.
Yes, we are.
So you said it's not like the stock market,
right? So when you say, because you said, all right, I'm trying to grasp this as well myself a little bit, because I mean, I'm dabbled in it, and I used to be a day trader, so I've done some day trading, and I've done fairly well doing day trading. Matter of fact, I didn't work for about 2 years just doing day trading, and was able to support my family. And then 2008 happened, and I lost my shirt.
Hey, you lost your shirt, that other sock that got lost in the dryer, maybe a tennis shoe, and then the shoe that you did have, it had no laces.
Exactly.
So a lot of folks lost that.
Yeah,
so I knew his personality, and I knew the comedy was gonna come. Because see, we're looking for that other sock that gets lost in the dryer. I don't know where it goes.
I don't know where they go, man. But they tag in and out. I have one sock here, and I have another sock. Yeah, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on?
So now this cryptocurrency, now since we have to put it to give it a purpose, and now you said crypto is the train, like, because you used an analogy of a train and then the track. So it's kind of that, you said the blockchain. So I'm trying to grasp those two. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on that?
So the word blockchain, it is really also two words. You know, obviously you gotta keep things simple when you're building on things from a technology standpoint. So the blockchain is made up of a bunch of blocks of information that have been daisy chained together. So we call it blockchain. Kind of like if you take rivets and you take planks, you kind of make in your train track, you have like all these different things. Now, a block of information in the blockchain is another way of saying like a digital ledger, right? You can go back that records transactions. You can go back to January the 3rd, 2009 and see the first Bitcoin transaction that was ever taking place, right? But now you won't see a name and an address and a phone number, all that kind of stuff. What you'll see is an alphanumeric string of about 34 characters that is case sensitive, that is where it goes. So we're talking about, I don't want to get too technical here, but basically banks have checking accounts or savings accounts or money market accounts. So banks have accounts, okay? Cryptocurrency has wallets. Mm-hmm. There is no bank with crypto. It is all decentralized, peer-to-peer. It's like, you got something, I want it, I send you the crypto for it through the network, I got it. There's it. There's no late fee, there's no chargeback, there's no wire fraud, there's no none of that. And so all those transactions are recorded forever, and it's immutable. Those of y'all that didn't take the SAT, that means that you can't delete it. You can't keep it quiet. It's always there. It's immutable. Can't get rid of it, right? Some of y'all got some family members that's immutable, okay? They won't ever shut up. But the point is, you can't get rid of it. It's transparent. It is nothing but transparency. And so this blockchain, or this chain of blocks of information, it goes boom, boom, boom. And so once these transactions are confirmed, like, okay, this happened, and once you get, because remember, it's not centralized. So there is not like a wire transfer where you have like a wiring company or anything like that when people get wires. You guys understand that, you're in real estate. You know, wires have to come through. It has to be cleared. It'll pin this, that, and the other. But with cryptocurrency, there is no central banking system. There's just the network, right? And so when you send crypto, if I were to send you some Bitcoin, let's say I were to send you like 5 Bitcoin or something like that. I ain't gonna do that, but let's say I was going.
You can if you like.
I know you won't stop me. You good like that?
Bitcoin right now is worth about what? About
last I checked, this morning was about $55,000 a Bitcoin, so roughly be about 275.
275,000. Yeah,
yeah, roughly.
But
now. So I send that to you. I would send that to you. Then once I sent it to you, that needs to be confirmed that was a real transaction. And the way that is confirmed is because the network has like these different pools. Like all these pools are basically tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of computers together that are in there, and they're going through and confirming things. Now these computers are called miners, right? They're mining through the block, they're digging through the blocks of information, and they're confirming it, right? So once they confirm it, once you get 6 confirmations, boom, transaction was successful, and now you've got, the proverbial, not literal, Bitcoin that I sent to you, right? And so that has been verified through the miners. And so when the set of computers that all come together in a pool, and they all solving that block, now that block gives you out something called block rewards. Those rewards is Bitcoin. The reward, so the Bitcoin is divided up between all the computers that help that block of information, and they all get a fractional amount of Bitcoin depending on how much power they contribute to the project. Remember, we was in school, we had that one kid in our group, in the group project, didn't do nothing, but he got the same grade as everybody else. Doesn't work like that in crypto. If you do a lot of work, you will get a bigger portion. That's how that works. So that's kind of the basis of Bitcoin mining. That's where Bitcoin comes from, and that's what a blockchain is, and that's kind of the essence of cryptocurrency. Now, there's other things here, but we're not going to get into that minutia, but that's kind of the basic information. That's what I teach all of the kids that participate in my Crypto Kiddos group. I have a group of kids ages 4 to 12, and I teach them about what is the Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency, what is blockchain, what is a wallet, how does it work, and why they should care. Those are just the 6 different things that we teach those kids, because they're growing up with this technology, they're growing up with this money, and anybody that has a child right now that's in kindergarten, by the time they're 18, they won't have a bank. They will be their own bank through some type of a banking app. And I use the term banking loosely, but they won't need a bank. They're not going to know what a 2 to 3 business day hold is on a check, if they even have checks. Then it's not going to exist. So if we can teach these kids financial literacy now, and understand the technology now, then it'll be something that proves them well. But we have to give this to them now. We have to let them know this now and explain to them, basic principles about wealth building, even as a child. It don't start when you're adult and you got to figure out how to get off your parents' couch. It needs to be second nature. Just like if they can nay, they should know how to do a transaction. Okay? Don't make no sense.
I said, how these kids know how to memorize all this stuff? They can definitely get down to memorize.
I mean, they can't do algebra, but they sure know what Megan Thee Stallion's saying.
Right.
They get all of that, but you can't get
all right, now you get to preaching now. You're going to see people turn out.
I'm going to stop. I don't want nobody to turn off. If you're a heathen or you're a pagan, just stick with us. I'm going to stop preaching for now. I'm gonna let that other stuff work through.
Church we come out of, they said if they start stepping on your toes, just say ouch. That's all. Just say ouch.
See, we were poor, and if you stepped in our shoes, then you gonna say ouch, not me. So we gonna fight. We had nothing. The only shoes I got, you stepping on them.
So that kind of leads us to the next question.
Yeah. So the realistic causes for crypto. What are some of
the realistic what?
The realistic causes for crypto. Like, where did it generate from?
So remember back when you was talking about how you lost your shirt in 2008?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in October that year, a man with a pseudonym, or in my opinion, I think Satoshi Nakamoto was 7 different people. And maybe it was an anagram. That's my opinion. I can't prove that right now. Really, I don't care. But Satoshi Nakamoto is credited with writing the open source paper and that gave people the technology to write and design and code for Bitcoin in October 2008. 3 months later, the first transaction happened. So crypto is and will always be money for the people. You see, when you go to if you bank in a Bank of America and you go and you in a hurry, you need to get some money. You need to go. Oh, there's a Chase ATM, and they're gonna charge you $4. You gonna get charged $4. Chase gonna charge you $4, and Bank of America gonna charge you $4. You're gonna lose $8.
Yeah.
$8 to get your own money. It's your money. You're not asking for a loan. It's your money. Well, that $8 gets divided up by 24 different entities: Visa, MasterCard, the different. And I don't want to get in all this because this is the stuff that kind of makes me mad. But I don't use them. Like even in my business, I don't take credit cards. I take crypto, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle Pay, right? But anyway, the point is that money gets tied up. So if you somewhere where you need to spend like $35 and you got to go get an ATM, you got to go use ATM, and you put you can't get it out because it's in multiples of 20. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. I ain't give it to you in multiples of 20. I gave it to you. I gave it to you. So I can be able to get my money. I want my money. So you can only get it in multiples of 20. You're lucky you find one to give you like tens, but it's just take and take and take. It's 12. I call it the cartel 12. Like it's gonna be evidence by the end of this. You will realize I do not like the banks. I hate the banks. Can't stand the banks. Banks stink. That's just my little thing that I remember. So it's divided up. You got like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Chase, Citi. You got all these different banking. They came up with the central banking system. That's why wires go through. It's why we do Forex trading and all that kind of stuff. And it gets divided up and everybody gets their cut. And so that right there, it just something had to be done. And so cryptocurrency came out. You pay a little bit of fee to the network, but that's it. There is no this, there is no both sides. It's one fee. Usually the sender pays it, and that's that. Period. And so it kind of came out when banks and different things that were going on in our climate. I know it, but I can't boil it down in baby pieces. But let's just say this: some things had to change. We had to enable people the power to have their money go to where they want to go to without the government's interference and being all in your business, okay? And being able to, if I want to send you money, I should be able to send you money, and that's it. What I send you, that's it. And so that technology is very valuable, and that is what's caused the price of Bitcoin to go up. So Bitcoin was always money for the people. It's peer-to-peer. It doesn't need to be centralized. I think anything that can be centralized can be regulated. Anything that's regulated can be manipulated. That is why we just feel like, oh, well, nobody working. Let's just go and print out some money.
Wow, yeah.
We'll worry about inflation later. We'll print out some money. But if you print out your own money, it'll put you in jail. See, the value isn't in the dollar. The value is in the resource that you pay for. How's $100 worth less than $10? They're the exact same thing with different numbers on them. In my opinion, this is a tool they use to get control. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. But it costs more than a penny to actually make a penny. Did you know that?
Yes.
And it only costs 4 cents to make a dollar bill.
Wow.
And if things get bad, they just print out some more. It's okay, not a problem. They got the printers. We can get them.
Yes.
I wish I had. That's kind of how that is. And so that begins to devalue the dollar bill, and then there's fluctuations and all kind of stuff. And I don't want to get way in the weeds, but simply put, cryptocurrency was coming because here is the thing. I'll make this one parallel. When the internet comes for your industry, it's over. Look what happened in like 92 when the internet came for like the music industry, Napster
video,
Napster and LimeWire and all that kind of stuff. The internet came for the movie industry, the record industry, all of that, the entertainment industry as a whole. That's why now Apple is, Apple is the biggest. Nobody got CDs anymore, vinyl. Nobody got 8-track. Well, you should never had 8-track tape anyway after 1980.
What?
But look, hey, I remember my dad had one of them 8-track tapes. My favorite one, it was red. It was bright red. Had a little Otis Redding on it. Pop that bad boy in there, blow it up, knock it around, boom. Because I broke the reel to reel. He thought he was doing it when he had it because you can put the reel to reel in his Cutlass Supreme. But anyhow, the internet came for the entertainment industry. and it was over. Now the internet's come for the banking industry, and they've went in just a few short 13 years. They've went from it's junk, it's garbage, it's illicit behavior, hackers, human traffickers, drug dealers use that, to now Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock Financial. They're all in. They're all in the crypto now because they've been through what I like to refer to as the 5 stages of grief where crypto is concerned. Wow. They ended up with you can't beat them, join them.
Got it.
Okay. So now with that, how do you choose the right cryptocurrency? Because there are a few other cryptocurrencies, correct? I mean, it's not.
Yes, and by few, last count, the legitimate numbers were 9,186 different cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
So
is that like countries, or is it just
no? Cryptocurrency is borderless.
Okay.
If I send you one Bitcoin and you live in China, it's just here you go, boom, and you have it in 30 minutes. I had a gentleman that sent $343 million from Australia to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and he did that in a matter of 46 minutes.
But would it be worth any more or less to where? How do you when you start to utilize it?
No.
Would it be worth more or less?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, there's different kinds. There's crypto that's in the category that's called stable coins. The stable coins are just they're all pegged to the US dollar. You got the Gemini US dollar, you got the Binance US dollar, you've got Tether, which is meaning it's tethered to the dollar. There's a lot of different cryptos out there, and we won't have enough to get into in this, but as far as if you're trying to invest in crypto, you got to understand the project, you got to understand the white papers. Are the white papers, are they fraudulent? Are they plagiarized? Somebody else just download everything in Microsoft Word and use a Control F and just find and replace their own name, swapped out some logos, and now they say they got a cryptocurrency and they want you to invest millions of dollars in it. Like, is it a legitimate project? How do you check it? What is the market capitalization of it? You go to coinmarketcap.com and look at them all. So there's a lot that goes into choosing the right cryptocurrency. Because if you are a day trader in crypto, or if you are someone that's in accumulation mode like myself, you just look for good entry points to buy it. And then I do flip. There's a percentage of my portfolio, a small percentage though, that I will flip crypto. So it really, even if I don't coach somebody through Currency Cadets, you just got to really understand what you're doing, because this is not a situation where you study long, you study wrong. That's not the case. You really got to look at what you're doing. And then, if you're not going to do all the homework that's required in investing in it, then you're not investing, you're gambling. And you know what they say about gambling? The house always wins. Mm-hmm. So you got to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do, because the reason why a lot of people don't understand crypto, and I'm not saying, this direct to anybody that maybe watches, but the general public doesn't understand crypto because the general public doesn't understand money.
Okay.
We used to they just don't. Like, old folks were correct when they had their money in mattresses and in coffee cans and mason jars. Or if you were like my grandma, we used to call it the booby bank, because we would go and get we asked for some money for ice cream, man. She'll pull it right out of her bra, and we had to run down the street. We try to hold like this because it's sweating. I don't want to sweat $1 bill. I just want to get my, So they kept their money close to them. My grandma always told me, said, if the house catch on fire,
that's right,
grab the mattress. Because all the money, it was in the mattress. She would say, grab the mattress and drag it outside. Grab the mattress, because she did not put money in the bank. She didn't put money in the bank. It's like, it's a building. If you really think about it, why do I have to give somebody else my money to hold?
To hold it.
I get the security, and this is somebody can bring it. It's not safe. You travel, somebody get it, they got it. I understand all of that. I get all of that. And, and I don't want to get too deep here, because I feel like things that God just kind of gave me, and I don't really, some of it is it gets a little deep, but I will simply tell you this, man. If you felt money going out of your hands as much as you spend it, it'd be a different feeling. I know Dave Ramsey likes talking about the envelopes and stuff like that. And if you physically pay your bills, I don't think envelopes are necessary. You can do that with like debit cards now, if you want to do that system. But
I teach
you don't feel money. Huh? What's that?
I teach the debit card system. So
But the thing about it, when you swipe, you don't feel it. Most people, if you ask them right now without cheating, how much money do they have in a checking account down to the penny? Most cannot tell you.
That is correct.
Because they done swiped and something's pending. Oh, I forgot. Or they done went and got gas. And they're like, oh yeah, I got some gas. And forget that they only authorized for $1, but then $45 come out. But if you had $45 in your pocket, you had to pay for gas right then and there, you would know.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get some gas. So I got $5.12, including what's in the dash.
And you know what? Just to touch on that a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
we are becoming a society where feeling money is odd. Like, it's very rare that you would have someone that has the cash on them to pay for something right there. Everything's done through, the debit card or Venmo or what's the other one?
Yeah. Because you're becoming desensitized to your money.
Yeah.
You're becoming you don't feel it, so there's no sensation of loss. You're not giving something, That's why little kids, they see Legos, they see candy, they got a handful of candy, and they see some more candy, they will risk the candy in their hand to go grab another piece of candy. You cannot get what they want out of their hand, That's just how it is, and it's I do some teachings and workshops and stuff like that, but it's psychological, and but simply put, people don't understand crypto because they don't really understand money.
Mm-hmm.
They know what currency look like the dollar bill. That's U.S. currency. They know what it looks like, but they don't really understand money. Because there's really only been 5 instances of money in human existence. First you had beads and nuts and rocks. Then you had precious metals like gold and silver, and then you got commodities. You got like food. You swap it. You have the barter system going. Then you have like plastic. And now you have crypto money you can't even touch.
Exactly.
But it's there.
Yeah.
And this is just where we are right now.
That's what's so important about, I guess, the ledger part of it, because keeping track of it, because a lot of people don't keep track of their money. So I guess that's that intricate part of it, is that ledger. Because like me personally, for my finances, I use Quicken or whatever to keep a ledger, to balance my checkbook, to know where all my money is being spent from. So I can go back and tell you where I lost my dollar back in 2008.
Right.
If it was spent then, it's a record of it. So having a record of it, definitely I can understand that helping.
And the weird part about all of that too, as far as, having a record of it and using it and things like that, when you think about it, and we like to talk about how, most people, if you're faith-based and you believe that even in the church sometimes it's hard for people to paying tithes, right? But if you are faithful over a little bit, you'll be faithful over much.
Yeah.
And some people don't have more, because this is the part where, okay, so God, we're not supposed to judge nobody. Judge not lest you be judged, right? That's Matthew 7:1. We're told that, right? We're told to be fruit inspectors, right? Because apples don't grow on orange trees, right? So when I see people, and listen, you can be mad at me all you want to if you're hearing this. I don't judge your soul. I don't judge your soul. I don't judge your heart or your intentions. I'm not a discerner of souls. That is God. I will say this though. I can look at your checking account and see what's important in your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can. You show me 3 months bank statements and I know how you live. I know what's a priority. I know what's not. I know whether you're living beyond your means or not. I know that. I can see that. And I don't mean nothing by this, but I will say this. If you have bounce check fees, if you have late fees, if you got penalties, you're not being a good steward of what God gave you. You're not. You can be better. You can be better. And you asking God for more, but you're not managing what you got in your hand.
Come on now. Come on. All right. Now the preacher's coming out. I didn't get that part yesterday. I didn't get that part.
But the thing is, cryptocurrency is the same way. Yeah. There is no central crypto system that's going to tell you, oh, you know what, you got scammed? Okay. We just going to give that back to them. We're going to go after them. Right? No, you need to understand where your money is going. Why are you spending it? Mm-hmm. I mean, this country, the United States of America, I don't know where y'all watch this from, but the United States of America was built on debt and greed. If you cannot buy it, then you cannot afford it. And I understand, other than a house, I get it. Everybody ain't got like $500,000 now, be like, bloop, I'm going to take that 4.5 there, 3,500 square foot, 3-car garage on a corner lot in the cul-de-sac. Everybody can't do that. So yeah, there's that. But at the same time, at least that asset appreciates. Because let me tell you something right now. There are laws in this country where people, like, the banks would charge you more interest if they could get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called usury laws. These buy here, pay these payday check loans.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had a flashback because I had one of my children wanted something so bad. It's like, hey, can you show me? Hey, what is a good payday loan? And I thought I was gonna die. I felt like somewhere I failed you. You living in this house, wearing them clothes, eating this kind of food, and you asking about a payday loan now that you're on your own. What are you doing with your money? To this day, my son's been living on his own for 3 years. To this day, I say, hey, man, I ain't got no problem giving you money or loaning you money, but it's going to be with interest, just like the bank would do. And I need to see your last 3 months paychecks. I need to see your last 3 months bank statements. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I know you don't have to pay for that because he's banking Navy Federal. And to this day, I'm going to say like my grandma said, I ain't seen nan statement. This boy 24. I'm not co-signing.
I got one of them. So,
like, you asking me for money, but you won't let me see how you already spending the money you already have.
We have the same conversation. You in our house right now.
Yeah. Right now.
But simply put, to answer your question directly, you got to be careful about investing in your crypto. You got to know where to go. You got to be, if you don't understand it, listen, in all your getting of knowledge, get wisdom, so that's the tenets. That's some of the tenets that I have when I'm coaching people, whether in a group as a private client, it carries a little higher fee, or in a classroom setting where I'll put 25 to 50 people in the group. We do it over Zoom. We talk. Everything's recorded. You got your own little whatever, and we don't charge anybody extra. We give you homework. Yeah, we give grown behind people homework about stuff. So we do that because I can't let you leave without you applying it. It's one thing if I give you the knowledge. It's one thing if you watch a video on YouTube, but I'm going to ask you to apply what you just watched or what we just done. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do the homework, guess what? The next time we meet, we doing the homework. Because this is your life. This is your livelihood. This is your family. This is your family's family. This is for that cousin that you can't get to church, but you still got to pay their rent once in a while. You still got to do stuff because God still wants you to build that relationship with that person. So, you still got to do things. Like I've asked God, and this is going to sound crazy, but I've had to pray. I say, Lord, you know what? If my kids don't get it, then give me so much money to where I can cover up the mistakes that they make for not listening because they're my child. I don't want the money. I'm asking you this for their behalf because they're not getting what you give me to give to them. But give me so much money to where I can cover them up because I don't want them to spend their inheritance while I'm alive.
Exactly.
So so it's just things that you just kind of have to do and go forth and understand that, because if you don't get it, you don't do it. You got to understand it. Know where your money is going. All about purpose, right? You got to know where your money is going.
So that being said, I have a question.
Sure.
So do you recommend? It sounds like you could recommend training and learning and coaching instead of, because that's another thing. I have a lot of people trying to contact me about cryptocurrency all the time. So I don't know. Do you feel that it's best to have someone that you've researched handle your cryptocurrency, or for you to make sure that you know it? Because it sounds what you're saying to me sounds like you feel it's better for you to get educated, have knowledge on it. But what about the people that don't have the time?
You got the time to make the money. You need to have the time to manage it.
Right.
I don't know what to tell anybody. Like, listen, I get it. Understand that. I will say this. There are agencies and places that will do that, but it kind of defeats the purpose of crypto. Crypto puts the onus on you. Like a lot of people get mad when the mortgage broker, or not broker, excuse me, a stockbroker loses their money. But you gotta understand, stockbroker doesn't care about you as an individual. They're gonna tell you they do, but most of them don't. You know why? If they were really good, they would base their success solely on what they make or don't make for you.
Right.
But that's the case. They get a salary. You got to pay a per trend. You got to pay money to sell it. You got to pay money to buy it. And whatever happens, happens. Like, hey, man, I think you're making a good deal. And they want you to carry a large balance because they're going to get out of that hedge fund anywhere from 0.5% up to 7% off of that. Absolutely. Based on a LIBOR average or whatever. So they don't care. All they want you to do, they don't care if you're making money. They just want to make sure that you're transacting because that's how they get paid.
That's right.
You want to make sure you're transacting. So to answer your question, Carlene, listen, you can pay somebody to manage your money, but if they lose all your money, it's not their fault, it's your fault.
Got it.
I mean, I tell people all the time, listen, this is just, you're just going to have to learn about money. If you don't know about money, you have to learn about it because back in the day, even if you were a blacksmith, you still had to pay your tithes. Even if you were a farmer, you still had to pay your tithes. You still had to know how much grain you needed. You still need to know these things, and that stuff required money. You still needed to do these things. Even though that was not your chief occupation, you still had to understand how to buy and sell and trade goods. You still needed, that was a skill you still had to have. And as a matter of fact, that skill needed to be known so well to where it needed to be secondary. Because your primary skill was what you had to do. Like there was a time a long time ago when somebody last name Miller, yeah, they were a miller. They worked in a mill. People who were last name Farmer, they were actually farmers. You know, people whose last name is Falconer, you know, because my son's parents, you know, well, my son's grandmother, they're from Trinidad and Tobago. And so, you know,
Trinidad.
Faulkner means, what's that?
I said, I'm from Trinidad.
You a TT baby? Oh my Lord. Yeah, my children are one generation. Their mother, boy, listen, a long time ago when I used to be really good looking, I used to model, and that's where I met their mom. And she, don't laugh, I used to be a good looking man, but she is from Trinidad. Okay. So they look a lot like her. They got her skin, but you know, whatever. But anyway, my point was, I almost got lost there for a second. The point is that you really got to understand what to do with your money. It's on you. Like God gave you that money, right? So He's gonna make a way. He's gonna make it important for you. Like you know, doctors make what they make, and bakers make what they make. Okay, but everybody got to pay tithes.
Amen.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, think now. This is where I'm gonna get a little bit deep, and I'm gonna tell you how I really feel about stockbrokers and people like that. People always talk about how much God loves you, but they don't talk a lot about that time when God when Jesus like lost it and flipped the table and chased them out of there with a bullwhip. People don't talk about that because they made God's house. They made it a den of thieves. So Jesus said they were a den of thieves. But what were they doing? What were they? They were money changers.
Money traders, yep.
Money changers. So that could be gambling. That could be they're taking your money, doing maybe some medieval or ancient Ponzi scheme. I don't know what it was. But they were changing money into something else for something else. Now, God isn't going to do that if somebody got like a little tomato stand. They were changing money. They were gambling. Some translators say gambling. Some say brokering. So what were they doing? I don't like giving nobody no money. So for me, if God felt that way about a money changer doing that in his house, again, they were thieves, and I'm not trying to start a new religion. I just think about things in a very weird and humorous way, and you read the Bible for your own interpretation. That's not what this is. But money changing was enough for Jesus to flip the table and chase people out of the church with a whip. That's why even if I go to church, when churches are open again, when I go back to church, somebody starts talking to me about business, I'm like, you're not going to have the Holy Spirit chasing me up out of here with a whip.
I hear you.
No, I don't want to do business in the church. There is the business of church, but that's if you call it a ministry, like the Levites were, right? They still had to do stuff, you know. They still got taken care of by the congregation. So, anyway, I'm getting way deep here. None of this is about crypto. No. But what I'll simply say is this. When you're paying people when you're paying people to manage your money, you have to watch them. Like now your job is supervisor. Now you supervise somebody. They're working for you. They're making your money. You know, just learn it. And you don't have to be in it every day, but it should be secondary, because if you are faithful over the little bit that God gives you, if you're faithful over the tens of thousands, he'll give you hundreds of thousands, and he'll give you millions, and it's all for his kingdom, because there's never been a U-Haul behind a hearse. You can't take it with you no way.
That's right. I know that's right.
Not at all. Not at all.
So now when you and that brings my next question, honestly, from what you were saying, what kind of systems are in place to manage the risk and the cost of it? You know, of being a good
Tons.
So there's no system in place to kind of manage. So how do you personally manage your?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said tons, not none, but tons. Tons of systems. There's lots of systems. There's a lot of fail safes. There's a lot of limitations. Like, for example, being in the real estate industry myself, I may have buyers or sellers that want to use cryptocurrency as part of a transaction, right? Well, a lot of these underwriters now are finally getting there. Well, I want to say they come to the 21st century, but a lot of them right now, they're just in a place where they're just now understanding it, and they know how to read a statement where you got to have seasoning requirements. You got to have this money for a while, and it's got to be worth whatever, you know, for you to conduct the transaction. Well, if you're not using an FDIC insured or an NCUA insured or an SIPC regulated cryptocurrency exchange, you should, because there are a lot of those that are on the U.S. soil, and if you lose up to $250,000, just like a checking account, if something happens, you get hacked or whatever, it's insured. They'll do the investigation, but they'll insure your account up to $250,000, just like a regular checking account at a bank for the that's FDIC insured. So there's a lot of different mechanisms and things in place for people to learn to keep their stuff safeguarded. Some of the simple things that I do, I don't because I have a cybersecurity background. I like to make sure that people have a VPN on their cell phones, on their laptops. Don't connect to free public Wi-Fi. Don't use public charging stations, because they can use that same 60 hertz signal in that outlet and jump over into your laptop with some malware, and they can brick your phone. Like you ever been somewhere like it's like, man, why is my phone? It won't dial. Well, it could be that maybe somebody was looking around in your phone. Maybe that was the case. Maybe it wasn't the case. I don't know. But, I can't say for sure that's not going to always be the case, obviously. But what I'm saying is that you want to always use a VPN, never use public Wi-Fi, don't use a public charging station with your phone, or your laptop. Just things like that, because you are responsible for what you have and all of your private keys and how you keep it safe. It is super simple to keep it safe, but you just got to always remember to, in crypto terms, lock your door at night, turn your alarm system on, you got to do that with your crypto too, and your devices, because that's how they want to get you. That's how they want to hack you.
Yeah, and that's why there's, from what I understand, there's like double passwords, right? You can basically, when you say lock it up, you can lock it up with a password.
Yeah. See, here's the thing that's funny. A few years back, maybe about 8 or 9 years ago, I was a victim of identity theft. Somebody, they called them, and everything kind of got restored, but it kind of messed up my credit for a little bit. Until it took about 6 months to get all that stuff proved with, police files, whatever. But all somebody was, they found my wallet, they took my ID into a bank and opened up a checking account. Made up a social security number, went into a bank with my ID, and opened up a checking account. That's it. When you open up a cryptocurrency account exchange, they're not only going to want to see your ID, front and back, but they're also going to use your webcam to scan your face to make sure that your face is the face that's on that driver's license. I've had instances where a woman got pregnant and gained a lot of weight in her face and could not open up a cryptocurrency account.
Okay,
wow.
so now when you say that, I'm trying to think, because now what about like Robinhood? You have Robinhood, you have Coinbit, and what are some of the other? Coinbase.
Yep.
So I'm being recorded, so I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to speak factually. You will never, if you buy cryptocurrency in Robinhood, you will never hold it. You're buying it They're holding it, and if you ever want to transfer it out, you can't. You have to be forced to sell that and get the money for that in your checking account. And when you do that, that is automatically triggering a taxable event, whether you are ready for that or not. Now, if you buy crypto in a legitimate cryptocurrency exchange, I'm not saying Robinhood's not legitimate, but what I will say is that you will never be able to have possession of your crypto if you buy it on Robinhood. You can transfer it out into what we call a cold wallet or a hard wallet, and that way you're not necessarily cashing it out by turning it into cash to put in your checking account. Because when you buy cryptocurrency and you sell it, you can put that cash in your checking account the very next day. Okay, so it's not like, you know, stocks and bonds, annuities, where you sell it, then you got to wait 10 days, and then you're going to get taxed 20% because you're not 65 yet. Then you got to pay like another income tax, you know, on 10% of that. That's taxed at like 15.7%. So it's not like a traditional stock in that way. You sell your crypto, you sell your crypto that day, and you want to get the cash for it, it's in your checking account the very next day. If you are with a legitimate exchange, that is how that works. But if you buy crypto, you can take it and move it from one wallet, from off the exchange into another wallet. So if it's another wallet, guess what? Just because you moved it, you're not getting taxed for it because you just moved it. You didn't cash it out. It's like if you buy Amazon stock and you move it, you roll over your IRA from one investment entity to another one. You're not paying tax on that, just rolling it over, right? So in order for you to roll over your crypto from one exchange to another exchange, the wallet inside this exchange to your own private secure wallet, guess what? You need to have it in a legitimate exchange. And you can't do that with Robinhood. Sorry, can't do that with Robinhood. I don't like them. I ain't never liked them. And I can say that and be honest.
I hear you. But you were freezing there for a second.
So what if you have?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not you particularly, but what if someone has bought crypto in Robinhood, right? And now they want to sell it.
Or
So they have to transfer it.
Yeah, they can sell it. Yeah, they have to sell it back to Robinhood. They cannot withdraw it from Robinhood and put it somewhere else.
Okay.
Wow.
They can't. They got to sell it. And when you sell it, you're going to be subject to three things: short-term gains, long-term gains, or income tax. So depending on how you declare it is going to depend on how you're taxed on it.
Okay.
But again, not a tax professional. Seek tax advice from a CPA or a bookkeeper or a tax attorney. I am not either of those things.
Okay. So Robinhood is basically regulated by the SEC.
Yeah, think about it. This is my complaint with Robinhood, and we gotta stop. And every time I hear that name, I get triggered.
Yeah.
But here's what I like about Robinhood: when they did that thing, when that GameStop stock ran up so high, and then all of a sudden people couldn't access their accounts because Robinhood is on the side of hedge fund managers. They don't care about you. They got hair. It's an extension of hedge fund managers. So they disabled you from being able to sell your stock when it went all over to $300 and then didn't reopen it back up, access to whatever. That's why the SEC is investigating Robinhood now. On one hand, they cry free enterprise, but then like it's free enterprise unless your hedge fund clients of your, are losing a bunch of money.
Gotcha.
Correct.
You see, it's they being funny with the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that. I don't like that.
So how do we create a wallet? Where do we go to get
You go. Well, there's a lot that you can download. If it's just a wallet, there's a lot that you can download. I'll tell you about the free ones. There's a free one that's called the Trust Wallet. It's got a white background, looks like a little shield. The Trust Wallet. Another is called the Exodus Wallet. You can go to www.exodus.io, and you can download that for your Mac, your PC, your cell phone, whatever. You can download those. Now, having those wallets, you need to already have crypto to put into them. If you want to get on a certain exchange, you can do that by going to different ones. Here's a shameless plug. You can go to currencycadets.com/Gemini, like the astrological sign, currencycadets.com/Gemini, GEMINI. If you do that, you'll get $10 worth of free Bitcoin for using that specific link that I just shared with everybody. So, and I like that link because that link does all the verification for you. You can download, what you've had, how long you've had it, the gains you've made. If something happens, you just settle this in your checking account the next day. I like them because they're FDIC insured. They do an amazing job. They're actually accessible. You know, if you send them an email or send them a chat message, somebody will get back to you, you know, and discuss your issue, and they'll get it fixed. So I like them because they're also based in New York City in the financial district, so you can actually go and knock on their door if you need to.
Wonderful. We're getting close to the hour, so
Okay.
if we're not almost past it already.
No, we're right about at it.
Okay, so what I really want to know is, where can everyone find you? Because you're
I'm very accessible. If they want to search Facebook, just the name Tony Tate, they see this milk dud with a face on it. You know, basically Mr. Potato Head with not as big eyes or big lips. They can find me, send me a message, I'll respond. But more importantly, if they're looking for information about crypto, they can go to currencycadets.com. Right now, we're revamping the website. So if they want to stay on social media, they can go to Currency Cadets. They can just search for currencycadets.com. They can like the page. And then when they like the page, they can click visit the group. And I'll add anybody in for free. They just have to answer the questions. And if they say Carlos or Carlene sent me, then I will add them free of charge. They can be a fly on the wall. It is a safe place, so they can ask any question they want to, and somebody will answer it. And I'll go through and I'll tell them if the answer is right or wrong. But that's where we are. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. So they can find us. It's pretty simple. We like to do what we do. We can help because I want to create a safe space because our logo, not logo, excuse me, but our tagline is that Currency Cadets, we make currencies make sense. So if we got to get the butter from the duck, that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
From the duck. That's a new one. I ain't never heard that one
before. I'm country. I'm country, so I might say stuff like that from time to time.
Now, what part of the country are you from again? Where you from?
The dark part. Like I'm from like the Carolina, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, South Carolina. Yeah. Yeah.
So and just if you could briefly touch on, and then I won't take up any more of your time, but if you could briefly touch on, because I went to your page the other day and I saw that you had a house on that page, and it wasn't your realtor. It wasn't like it was a fancy house like most realtors, you know, would put on their page or anything like that. So it definitely gave me some interest. Like I wanted to know what that house was about. So
that is a house that I grew up in. I grew up in it. I lived there all my life, but that is a house where I lived in. I lived in that house. It was, you know, 4 adults and 1 child lived in a 2-bedroom house that was not up to code by any means. And no matter how many millions that I'll keep making and things like that, no matter how many other people, last count I think over 30 people become millionaires in the last 2 years, I will never forget that home. And that will always be a cover photo because no matter how many millions I make, I want to always be able to look at that and know that that's where I came from. And if I came from that, you know, then anybody who came from more than that can have more than I'll ever have.
And that gave me chills because I think it was important to have you on here as well, because I feel like sometimes people will look at you or, you know, look at me and Curtis or someone else and say, oh, you know, well, you guys got it together. But they don't know what happened prior. They don't know how we grew up. You know, I grew up in a house that some people would say they called it, and this is the first time I'm probably saying it ever, but they called it the Little Shack on Eli Avenue. I remember that. And I had a song made about me. So it hurts me to my heart, but you know what it does? It reminds me that, you know, it was the outside, but what was on the inside, the love that my mom had for me, the hardworking ethics that she had taught me how to make that even not matter. So if I ever had to go, you know, to a place like that again, as long as I had love, you know, in my heart and work, please, that stuff doesn't even matter.
Absolutely.
So that's why.
Yeah, you cannot have any glory without a story. can't have any glory without a story. It's just that simple.
That is the truth.
Amen.
That's the truth. And when you look at a lot of people's stories, it kind of it gives you a basis of that you're that anything's possible in this life. So that's why it doesn't pay to envy, jealous anybody. We can all make it. There's enough out here for all of us.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, in finality, I know what it's like to go to the store with the green $10